welcome back to the channel. This is Garrett Hamilton here. I am going to, with some assistance from the little wiener dogs here today, open up a brand new product from Godox. And this is actually the Flashpoint XR2 system. It is the Godox V1. I just got it in the mail. I literally have not even opened the package yet. We're going to do that right now. Stay tuned. Brand new package, just got it from Adorama. They're the only ones that I actually saw that had one in stock. Went and purchased it. Let's go ahead and break this bad boy open. If we can do that. What is it? There she is. Godox. Flashpoint brand, same exact thing basically. Flashpoint calls it the Zoom Lithium-Ion XR2 TTL speed light for Sony. We've got the R3 here with the Zeiss 55mm 1.8. We're going to test it on today, see how it fits. Let's go ahead and break this bad boy open. Unboxing video. There it is, nice and tidy. Battery charger port. USB-C cable. Lithium-ion battery in a little package. Just so you know, this is different from the 860 batteries. This is a VB26 7.2 volt lithium-ion battery, different from the 860. These are going to be on the market very soon to get replacements and spares with. Owner's manual. Wall plug, USB adapter. And of course, the flash itself here in this pouch. And it does come with a foot for it too, just as you'd expect, with a 1/4 on the bottom of it, so that's good to go there as well. That's it. Put this aside, let's go ahead and bust this baby open. Super excited. The last probably 2 years since I switched to Sony, I have fully used the AD200s, AD600 TTL, and I recently purchased an AD400 Pro. I have not used those on camera whatsoever, so this is really going to be kind of a new thing for me in terms of Sony. Canon, Nikon, growing up, always used to shoot those with on-camera flash as a kind of on-axis fill. I've been wanting a solution for that. Wasn't too impressed with the 860, didn't know quite sure, if I wanted to go that route. As soon as they released this one with the round head, the lithium-ion batteries, now that they've been proven, and the system altogether, super excited to try one of these out. I'm a wedding and portrait shooter, so this is really going to be pretty handy. I do a ton of events, indoors and out, so having something on camera that I can still control my off-camera flash with is huge for me. So let's go ahead and open this baby up. It even smells new. I love it. There it is. Padded pouch. Nice padding inside there, kind of keep it soft. It's not really necessarily padded, but it's just kind of a flocked liner there to kind of keep it soft. Kind of interesting full pass-through on the battery there. Not quite sure how that works, but we're gonna find out. That's pretty interesting. I didn't see this in any of the photos before. It's a full pass-through. Does have a locking mechanism here for the foot. Comes with a protector for your terminals there on the bottom, just like this, all the rest of the Sony stuff does. That slides on and off. Set this aside. Now before I go gung-ho with this thing, I will charge the battery up fully, but I want to see kind of how they ship the thing. Slides in there, terminal down. Nice little click. And that fills the gap, fits nice and flush. That's pretty cool. I like that. It does not have a button on the sides to lock, kind of like the Nikon and the Canon stuff does. It's just got a really nice tight feel to it as it goes around. So there's 120, There's 150 all the way back around. There's 90, 90 forward, and again 180 all the way back around if you wanted to flash yourself in the face, I guess. And it does flip back up once it's there too, so you can rotate this any which way that you want. I intend on running this with mag mod systems. I've seen people take the mag grip and it fits around this guy. I'm gonna probably run that with either a mag bounce or a mag sphere just for quick wetting work. And I may even run it bare. I'm gonna do some testing today and see kind of how, you know, it stacks up compared to the regular Fresnel heads that I'm used to shooting with, kind of see how soft it gets. And also I want to check recycle time, so that'll be in a future video, so please be sure to come back and watch that. Let's go ahead and power this thing on and see kind of what power it has. So it's a 3-bar battery indicator, and currently it has 2 bars on it. It pops right up TTL mode. You can change your modes right here on any of these buttons. You can change it over very easily, you know, with the push buttons. You can change all of your settings, go into the custom menu functions. You can lock it so you can't press any buttons. You can change your sync, so you can go high-speed sync. You can do regular rear curtain sync. You can change all of your power settings right here on the flash unit as well, along with being able to control your off-camera flashes from this as well. So one thing that's kind of interesting about this, it actually has a built-in mounting lamp. I'm not quite sure how useful it would be. You know, it might help with focusing, but there's a little button for it right here on the back. It looks like a little light bulb. You simply press that, it pops up, and then you press your center button and it lights up, and you can see there how it's on. And all you have to do is dial your rear dial selector to make it increasingly brighter. So kind of interesting there that you could use this for focusing and really dimly lit situations, you know, grab a little bit of focus where maybe the camera won't quite do it. I don't foresee this being useful in terms of lighting a subject. Potentially you could use it for a video light. That is yet to be seen. I'm definitely going to be testing that out. So kind of interesting to see that on here though, and a lot of other flashes don't offer that. Go ahead and turn that back off. So if you want to change your power settings, all you have to do is press this TCM button here, and that will allow you to switch your mode, TTL to manual, and then you can press your mode button here to go through multi-TTL menu, and then you can change your power simply by running the selector switch around. Let's go ahead and do that, do a little testing. So we're selected on 1/256. That's the lowest power setting that you can go. You can simply turn this up and dial it in 10th stops, which is pretty cool. A lot of flashes will only do 1/3 or even halves. This allows you to really dial in the settings for it. It's pretty interesting, just like the 8400 Pro and presumably the 8200 Pro that just got released. So we can change this. Let's just go down to, let's do 1/8. This is probably a pretty moderate flash setting that most people will be using, and we'll do a little test here, see how fast it recycles. I mean, it's instantaneous. Let's go down to 1/4. Pretty instant as well. 1/2. About a half second or so. Let's do 1:1 full power. Ready? About 2 seconds. About 2 seconds. So just keep that in mind. If you're really, you know, pushing this thing, you got to give yourself at least a second and a half to 2 seconds for this thing to really power back up before you take your next shot. Now, for the work that I'm going to be doing, there will be no way I'll be at 1:1 power in a darkly lit reception hall with just some on-axis fill. I'll probably be back down into that, you know, 1/16 to 1/32 time frame on the flash power, and I mean, it's instant. So I don't foresee that being an issue at all. to hammer that out. It's pretty cool. The other thing I've noticed too on this is that it does actually have a zoom head, so it will keep up with your lens, you know, in that 18 to 105 range. It'll keep up with the lens length too, which is pretty handy. Let's go ahead now and throw it on the camera. Like I said earlier, I have the A7R3 here. We're going to throw it on and see how it interacts with it. Let's go ahead and power this thing down. Throw it on the camera here. Lock that into place. I want to see how that sits. Okay. So that feels fairly solid on there. I wasn't quite sure how that was going to work, but it actually has a fairly big gap there, and when you spin this down, you can really see it hit. Then it locks right on, so that's pretty good. And it looks pretty decent on the R3 there. So the main flash itself, you can see there, it's kind of tipped forward a little bit, and the flash head is tipped down compared to the axis of the lens itself. The flash is actually tipped down a little bit. So if you wanted it to be perfectly, you know, parallel with the way the lens is facing, you have to tip this up to the very first stop level that it hits at, and that looks pretty much 90 degrees, so that's pretty good. And you can hyperextend it a little bit if you want, and that isn't going to hurt anything. Just all, you know, user preference. I doubt that it'll even change much, but just if you want to be anal about it, it's right there. So let's go ahead and turn them both back on. Camera body first, flash second. We're down to 1/8/30th of a second. Let's put this guy on TTL and see how it acts. We'll do a TTL. Let's leave it on 0, and we'll change the camera settings down to -1. Take a picture of our camera here and see what it does. So it didn't look like it put out too much power. It didn't need much at all. Very, very light power. Let's go up to 0 and see how it acts then. Definitely a difference in the photo there. And I'll throw these up on the screen right now to kind of show you guys the difference between -1 and 0 as the camera sees it. And our setting on the camera is based upon the metering mode of multi. So the multi-metering mode is the overall. So the TTL does not need to be changed from the flash itself. You can change it simply from the camera as well. You never have to actually touch this. Let's go into high-speed sync now. All I'm doing is pressing the sync button on the back of the flash, which is located here, and it corresponds to whatever's displayed on the screen. So sync now. Let's go high-speed sync. Let's go to the back of the camera. We need to put our flash menu option up to fill flash and able to enable the Sony to go to full high-speed sync. So now we can go up to above 250th. Let's go to 500th of a second, 1.8 ISO 100, and let's do 0 on the TTL. Let's take another photo. Obviously a lot more power put out there to try to keep up with the 500th of a second in high-speed sync. And again, I'll post this photo right now to kind of see what you guys think of it, and also to see kind of how it interacted with that compared to the 1/30th of a second, letting in all this ambient light around me as well. You can really kind of see what it'll do for your, you know, backgrounds. You can kind of change the look and the mood of the photograph as well. Let's go all the way up to a 1,000th of a second. As you can see, it really didn't change too much. We still have a little bit of ambient light kicking in from the window. Let's go all the way to 8,000th of a second. See how the flash reacts. Significantly more power output from the flash. You can hear that it actually took a little bit longer to recharge there. I would say that was probably in the, I don't know, half power to 1/4 power range. And obviously significantly different here now with the look of the photograph. It looks pretty cool. Really dimmed down shades in the background back there. I got rid of all the ambient light in the room, and it's only running off the flash power. And as you can see actually as well, the overall look of the flash is very, very soft. It's very circular. It doesn't have, you know, the banding that you would normally get out of a regular Fresnel head. I know the 8200s are kind of notorious for creating little bands of light because it's a square. This is a nice perfect circle, and that looks awfully soft to me and very very centric to the photograph as well. There's no big square lines going through it. I am noticing something here though. Let's take a look. And this is actually true banding that I'm seeing in the background, not the banding I mentioned earlier about just a look of a band from a Fresnel head. This is actual banding in the photograph. Back there on the back wall, I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. It didn't do it in the 1,000th of a second, but as soon as I went to 8,000, it did it. So let's go back down to 5,000. Getting it at 5,000 high-speed sync. Do 4,000. Getting it at 4,000. So there's some issues going on there. 3,200 still getting it. Let's jump a few down to 2,000. Alright, at 2,000 it's going away now. Something with the high-speed sync and the flash not wanting to act properly. We are in first curtain electronic mode. Let's go into our Sony camera here and change that to mechanical first curtain. So E front curtain is currently turned on. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Silent shooting is off. Of course, you can hear the shutter going. Let's jump back up to 8,000 because we definitely had it there. Zoom in, and there it is. It's gone. So be warned, if you are in E front curtain, this is R3, I'm assuming the A3 and probably all the other Sonys will do it too. Maybe not the A9 because we know how fancy that thing is. But if you are in one of these cameras in high-speed sync with this flash, or maybe any other flash, maybe you guys can let me know if the 860 does it as well, I don't know. You want to be in full curtain mode. You do not want to be in front curtain E mode. That is the electronic first curtain. You don't want to be in that mode. You will get banding. So I'm pretty happy overall fit and finish of the flash. It looks super nice on the camera in my opinion. It's not too heavy. You know, it feels very sturdy. It clipped right in there, no problem. The lock button feels nice and solid. It came with a half or even 3/4 of a battery full from the factory. I am going to now charge it up fully, do a full test on it, and take it outside, shoot the wiener dogs, and see kind of how they like it. See how it keeps up with some action. And I'll be bringing you guys another future video with some actual photos taken with this. And I do actually have a wedding tomorrow, and I do plan on putting this right to the full test. And I'll be releasing that video after the wedding, mixing some real live action shots and some real world stuff put through this flash. I'm going to now charge it up, like I said, and put the mag mod on it and really see how this thing works. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and follow me for new future videos on anything Sony, Flashpoint, and Godox related. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Thanks a lot.